Jon, it's incredible having you join us. You know, I got to meet President Reagan once. I was a kid. I was like almost 30. And we went to his Century City offices, and he was just out of office. And I invited the great Charlton Heston to join me, and we presented an Adam Smith Award to this amazing president. Did you have the chance to meet or work with President Reagan at all?
No, I did not. The closest I got was I did visit his ranch at one point, but no, I did not have the pleasure.
Well, what memories do you have of the Reagan era? What do you remember from it?
Well, I mean, I was attentive to what was going on, and I saw this battle. We were all concerned about the Soviet Union and this, the Cold War, and here was this man who came in and he turned things around. We were in a very strange dance with the Soviet Union, and he had very clear ideas about how to deal with it. And I watched as forces came together. I remember following John Paul II a little bit in that time, and then of course Margaret Thatcher, and it was a very, very interesting, very dramatic time. And through it all, this man was very poised. He was I remember his statement on the various at the various key moments, and he would talk to the country. And his, for instance, the Challenger disaster, when that happened, it was quite a shock to all of us. And he came on the air, and his speech was so beautiful, so positive, so loving, and so appropriate to talk about the heroes of that disaster and what that space movement meant to people, and the character of the people involved, and heroism, and how it's needed always, and sometimes sacrifice is needed. It was a wonderful speech, and I remember at all those times when he would step up, and you knew you had a strong voice and a spiritual voice in a very gentle and clear way that gave us all an uplift at times of difficulty.
Well, that's from the eyes and the view of a patriotic American, Jon Voight. How about from the KGB agent, Viktor Petrovich? What would he be seeing at that time of Reagan?
The character I play is a character named Viktor Petrovich.
Petrovich.
Victor. And Victor, I work with a young actor from Russia, Russian actor, young fellow, very nice fellow. And we had a great time working on the piece together. But Victor, he becomes the kind of voice of the story, and he followed him from the beginning, and was a KGB agent at the beginning, and then he, in watching this man and spending so much time with him, he started understanding and really getting behind Reagan's point of view about so many things. And he understood the suffering of his country, and he was going through it. And he recognized at one point that this man was going to save his country, that not only was going to bring down the Soviet Union, but he was going to save the people. And that's the I shouldn't have told you that, but I revealed it anyway. But so there's he's sympathetic to Reagan's career, and he tells the story to a young man who comes in and says, why didn't the Soviet Union make a stand against this? How could we have lost the country? And he says, well, there are other people you could go to tell that story. I say to him, and he says, but you were there. And I say, yes, I was there. And I tell him the story, and as I go through it, I explain many things to him. And he turns around by the end of the film, too. So,
and that's the amazing thing. I remember living it and watching. I remember when President Reagan was shot. I remember what the Soviet Union was like. My college professors telling me Marxism is inevitable. It's dominant. It's going to win. Our economy can't hold up. But it seems, and I got this from the film when we first screened it, and I saw an early screening with Mark Joseph. It seems like as much as Reagan did economically in economic warfare to bring down the Soviet Union, and tear down the wall, he demoralized them at the same time by showing that liberty really is better. And I kind of got that from the movie and the way you portrayed it.
Yeah, well, he did that, and I remember that time in where he was in. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was he met Gorbachev for the first time, and I remember the first thing he did. He came, by the way, he came in a suit, and Gorbachev, very attractive guy at that time for the Soviet Union, young man, and he had a coat on and a hat, and Reagan was out there without a coat, without a hat, and looked very breezy and attractive.